are 30 and we are here in Los Angeles.
I'm actually 40-something.
You're not supposed to tell those things. This is one of my great best friends, Laura, and we're here in LA, and she's here to tell us about her art. So, what kind of art do you do?
I'm kind of all over the place. I'm a dancer, so that's fun, and I'm also a biologist, and that's fun. So, where the two intersect is right now I'm doing educational apps, trying to build games that kids can play their way through the biology curriculum. That's my big shtick right now. But I like to dance a lot, so I'm always training at the studios. I'm always like, I don't know, learning new things. I'm trying to learn how to program. And I'm also trying to write a children's book and illustrate it with my Wacom tablet. So,
A little bit of everything.
you know, like I said, I'm just all over the place. But yeah, art is life. For art, I feel like there's something I need to say that I want to communicate, but I don't want to use words. So for me, it comes from that place of like, I have to get this message across to it. I feel like so much of what expression is not verbal.
So you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and also how do you balance your relationship with Derek and your baby, Rachel, and you?
Yeah, there's no balance. For me, it's kind of like I just plunge into the day. I try not to control it. I don't know how to explain that. I try to just go, okay, this is all I have is this moment, and I don't know what's going to happen the next moment. So, I mean, I can kind of plan for that, but sometimes you really can't. So, what I try to, I don't know, it's like almost like becoming a child again, is trying to release that, like, okay, when I get home, I have that 1 hour, and I've got to get this done in that 1 hour, or it's not going to get done. And then maybe that hour comes, and I'm exhausted, and the hour is completely unproductive. And then I'm just like, oh, you know, and then I beat myself up, you know, and I found that way doesn't work for me, is to try to structure my art, or try to find that time. I mean, structure does help, but I find what works for me is to, like, the moments I have, like when I take my dogs out, or when I have Rachel, like maybe there's a song playing in my head that I really want to choreograph to, and I'm just, you know, the song will just be on my head, and all of a sudden it'll just be like something clicks, like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this movement, or oh, this movement, like something will just, like, it's on my head while I'm doing something else. Mm-hmm. And that all of a sudden, in that moment where I'm not expecting it, it's like, oh yeah, that. And so I find that it's like kind of permeating my other compartments, I guess, so that then when I do have that space to create, then there's something there already that I can just go, okay, I've been thinking about that for a while, and I know what I'm going to do here, here, and here, and then it can flow, versus, okay, I'm only going to think about it when I get to this spot in my life, because if I wait for that spot, that spot comes maybe, but then I'm so tired, or I have nothing there, and it's almost like writer's block, or you know, just or dancer block, or art block, or whatever. Because it's like I was just waiting to do what I should have been doing all along. It's like breathing, right? I feel like it's like breathing. Like, just the art is in you. What you have to say is in you, and it'll come out. Like, don't try to control it. You know, don't try to like force it to happen when you feel like it needs to happen. And that for me is balance, because it gives me that, like, it takes the pressure off to be like, I have to create this by this time, or it's not gonna, you know, whatever, else I'm doomed. But there's times when I do have to create at this time. Yeah. Like for my students, like they want to learn a new routine, and they want a jazz piece that this competition is coming up in 3 weeks, and it has to be done so they can practice. And that for me is like, with that situation, that for me is like putting the burden on them, you know, like you're artists too, and this can become a collaborative process. And I feel like with deadlines, it's usually because it involves other people that can also be owners as well in that process. Why is it all on my shoulders? If this is a collaborative thing, then we can create together, and maybe that's why I don't have the ideas all together yet, because maybe this is meant to be something we all create together. I guess that would be my message if I had one to share with people that are struggling with the constraints of reality when it comes to creating their art, is to try to find ways that they can allow it to flow in areas maybe that they're not considering as, you know, they don't feel like they have permission.
No, but even like when you were talking about stuff, makes me think, whenever I try to sit down and make myself write a song, it's not, I can do it, but it doesn't like always, it doesn't come out like the way I want, or it's like I'm trying to force it and it doesn't always work. But when I'm like driving or right before I fall asleep, oh, I have this idea, oh, that's a good idea, and then I put it in my phone and I go back to it later, and then there's something to build off of,
Right.
and create something that was like, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but like, it's like almost something comes from within you, just pops out, like some creative part of you that's there that you're not trying to like pull it out
Right.
and make it do something. It's just like, hey, I have something for you.
There's a spectrum, you know. So of course there's like total structure, and then
Yeah.
there's that area where there's no structure. And I think the balance is somewhere in between, because you do need structure. And in all honesty, you have to learn your scales, you have to learn your technique, you have to, whatever it is, you have to master that craft. And I've known people that are like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job for my art, and it's like, oh, please don't do that, because then you're realizing that there's really not many jobs that pay you for that position that you idealize in your head, you know.
Yeah.
And it's after the fact that you might get reimbursed for your time, but it's not ever, oh, I'm gonna get hired to be that thing that I want to be. It's like you have to put it out in the world, and eventually, you know, like there's that balance, or you still need that structure in your life, because then sometimes that structure really helps you just get through life, and then you get to that place where you can breathe again and create.
Well, we definitely were inspired, and I hope you were too.